Hello and welcome, everyone. Welcome to another Lunch with Lisa. I'm Lisa Warner. I am the creator of Lunch with Lisa and SOULution Sunday, because the soul is the solution. And I'm the author of the book, The Simplicity of Self-Healing, which I wrote after I healed myself from cancer totally naturally without using the medical model. And I help my clients learn how to bring body, mind, and soul back into a healthy balance so that we can all live healthy and happy lives. So today, let's talk about you, because you are the solution that you are looking for. Whatever this problem is, you are actually the solution. And why do I say that? What do I mean by that? Well, any problem that we have in our lives is a distortion of some sort. When we are living as the soul, we live in divine perfection. We live in peace. We live in harmony with the entire universe. This is who and what we are as souls. We are non-physical beings who are here on earth, animating these physical bodies so that we can have a physical experience. But when we come to this planet and we start animating these physical bodies, we forget that we are the soul. We forget that we are created in divine perfection. We forget who we actually are. And when we forget who we actually are, we start to suffer. We have amnesia. When we have amnesia, we don't know who we are not operating at full capacity. We are not operating as the divine souled beings that we are. Our light starts to dim. We start to struggle. We start to feel less than great. Our bodies start to suffer as the living life force energy starts to wane. When we are living as the soul, we are connected to all of life. We are connected to the field of living life force energy, and all the living life force energy we could possibly ever use is at our fingertips. And what do we use that life force energy for? We use it to create. We use energy, we shape energy and form energy into experiences, into things that we get to enjoy. But here on this planet, we're taught to shape energy into experiences that keep us small and limited and struggling. We're not taught that we are creators. We're actually taught that we are not creators. We are simply taught that the world is the way it is and that we simply have to deal with it, which then convinces us to continue to create more and more of what is. And pretty much when we look around this planet, what is pretty chaotic and confusing. There's a lot of strife, there's a lot of struggle, and there's a lot of disease. So when we're taught that that is the way it is, then we simply accept that as the way it is. But guess what? We do not have to accept that as the way it is. Why? Because we are creators and we can literally create something else. We can create something far, far, far better than what is already here on this planet, than what currently is. Before I understood all of this, I believed that it is the way it is, and I was trying to do the best I could with what I got in the way it is. And to be perfectly frank, it didn't work for me. I struggled and struggled and suffered until I found myself facing cancer, which turned out to be the greatest blessing of my entire life because it was my real wake-up call. It shook me to my core and made me wake up. Because what I looked at in the medical model with chemo and radiation and pharmaceuticals and all of those options did not resonate with me at all. I was far more afraid of chemo and radiation and long-term pharmaceuticals and appointment after appointment after appointment, living that life, than I was of actually dying. So I decided to take my chances, and I decided to learn how to heal myself. And what I realized was that we are body, mind, and soul. We're the soul before we come into the body, we're the soul after we leave the body, and we are the soul in the body, right here, right now. We are each the soul. And these bodies are designed to heal themselves. We have evidence of that. Every time we get a cut, a bruise, a burn, a sprain, a break, a cold, the body heals itself. So the body is self-healing. As the soul, there is nothing wrong with any of us. We are designed, created in divine perfection. So if there's nothing wrong with who we are as the soul, and our bodies are self-healing, the only variable in that is the mind. We know the term think outside the box. Well, the mind is the box of limiting beliefs, the things that we've told that are what is. What is the box. What is on this planet? The wars, the diseases, the poverty, you have to fight your way to the top, climb your way to the corporate ladder. You got to get some soul-sucking job for minimum wage in order to afford to live on this planet. All of these things that appear to be what is, that's the box. Because it doesn't need to be the way it is. But we have been penned into a little box by all the people that have made all the rules about what is and what has to be and the way it needs to be and what you need to do on this planet. So all of those rules have created a box for each of us to try to fit ourselves into. Well, as grand infinite beings, we are not meant to fit in a box. But trying to fit ourselves into a box distorts us. It causes us to limit ourselves. It causes us struggle and strife because the box does not feel good. The what is doesn't feel good. Look out in the world at what is. All the noise, all the chaos, all the confusion, the wars, the diseases, on. And you can see that it is not a pleasant place to be. That box is not for us. If you want to be who you truly are, the grand, infinite soul being that you are, the being of light and love that you actually are as the soul, that is what heals all wounds. That is what dissolves the box, because you realize that you do not need to live in the box. You realize that you are a grand creator being, living in a universe of infinite potential. And you can choose from any potential you desire. You can create any life you choose. But when we're living in the box and trying to fit ourselves into some shape that doesn't belong to us, the living life force energy stops flowing. Every time we're traumatized, every time we're wounded, every time we're scolded and told we're wrong, that we shouldn't have done that, when we're shamed and blamed, when we're poked and prodded by the external world, the life force energy stops flowing. And wherever it stops flowing in our bodies, the body starts to change its shape. Because the traumas literally send electrical charges into our bodies. It's like having our finger in a light socket. Our bodies feel energy. Our bodies feel frequency and electromagnetic charges. Fear is a charged energy. Guilt is a charged energy. And when we're guilted or shamed or put into a state of fear, those charges are held in our bodies. And if we don't know how to discharge those charges start to distort our bodies. Just like when you have your finger in an electrical socket, you can only have your finger in a socket for so long before everything stops working. So when we hold these charges in our bodies, dis-ease is the only option. When we're trying to figure it out in our heads, it's really hard to do. It's hard to figure out what's wrong with us, or what to do about it, or why our life isn't working the way we want. This is all mental energy. It's all part of the mind. It's us going around and around in the box, trying to figure our way out of the box. But we can't get ourselves out of the box from inside the box. We have to be outside of the box. The soul, who we actually are, is outside the box of the mind. The mind is the box. The soul is the solution to the box. You are both. We are each both. We are body, mind, and soul. All three pieces are parts of who we are. The soul is who we are. And the soul is animating the physical body. But when we come into the physical body, we are given this mind and we are programmed. The mind is programmed. You're sent to school to get programmed. You are sent to church to get programmed. You're given a TV to watch programs. The mind is programmed. The mind becomes the box that distracts us from the soul. It causes us to think that we're not okay, that this isn't good, that we're in danger, that we're going to die. Newsflash, as the soul, you cannot die. You are infinite. Death is the biggest illusion of them all. So no matter what the problem is in your life, whether if you're watching this, you've had some sort of a health issue, since that's kind of where I specialize. But whether it's a wealth issue, a relationship issue, doesn't matter what the issue is, the SOULution is you being who you truly are, by turning your light back on, letting all the living life force energy start flowing through your body, getting out of the mind, noticing the soul, who you are, the stillness. We talk about trying to quiet the mind. Well, it's really difficult to quiet the mind. The mind's just going to do what it's going to do. But when you focus on the soul, when you place your attention outside the box on the soul that you actually are, that's where the quiet is. You, by nature, are quiet. You, by nature, are connected to universal wisdom and knowledge. Every answer to every question lies in the soul. The box is limited. It has very, very limited information. Therefore, it has very, very limited answers. The soul is unlimited. Infinite possibilities. When you start to notice who you really are, the non-physical being of light and love, who you are as the soul, and you start to notice yourself, the box starts to dissolve, because you start to be able to see the illusion of the box. We've been conditioned into a box, backed into a corner, and the lid closed. So we live in this invisible prison when we're living in the mind, trying to figure out the answers. What do I do? Oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. This is terrible. Oh my gosh, I got to go listen to the experts. Somebody else knows what to do. I don't know what to do. Let me go find somebody who knows what to do. Guess what? You are the one who knows what to do. And all you need to do is to start to be yourself. You are the answer. You are the solution. Every answer to every question is right inside. You have the box and everything else. When you start to notice the soul, you start to know outside the box. The thinking happens in the box. The knowing happens in the soul, which is outside of the box. So I invite you to spread your wings. Notice your wings. Your wings are non-physical. They're made of light, just like you. Notice who you are. You are not that physical body. There is nothing wrong with you. Notice your wings. Spread your wings. Shine your light. You are created in divine perfection. You have simply been convinced, programmed into a box. And when you notice who you actually are, the box will literally dissolve, because you cannot fit into a box. You can, but it's really dark and uncomfortable in there. So open the lid and step out of the box and own your magnificence. Let your light shine. Notice who you truly are, because you are the SOULution. I hope this was helpful. If you would like more help being the SOULution you are, please feel free to reach out to me. I will help you step out of the box and into your soul. Till next week, create for yourselves a brilliant week. Have some fun playing outside the box. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you'd like to reach out to me, please do so at my website, connectingyoutoyou.com. Thanks so much. Hope this was helpful. We shall see you again next week for Lunch with Lisa. Thanks for joining me. See you next week. Bye for now.